Concentration 64. Category is.
Hello, welcome to my second episode, and most importantly, welcome back to my podcast. So, today is January 31st. I'm filming this. I'm going to try to get it out on the same day because I've been slacking. I haven't gotten much better since my last video, so I still sound a little sick, but that's okay. We're going to push through. As you can see, the title of this video is Birthday Blues. So, my birthday is February 3rd. I was born in 1999. Woo woo. Last of the 90s babies. I want no slander. I want no slander on how 99 and 98 babies are really just 2000 babies. Please, if you find yourself anywhere, find yourself in hell. I'm not gonna hear it. I don't care to hear it. Anyway, let's get started. So, for as long as I can remember, my birthday has always been really hard for me. I'm not sure why, honestly, but my birthday has just always been, if for me personally, it's always felt like a really dark time. I don't know when it started, but I know it started really young who didn't like their birthdays. The best way that I can describe it is kind of like shame or guilt for being alive. It's very weird and it's very odd, and I don't fully know how to explain it, but ever since I was little, I just felt always really extra depressed, really sad on my birthday. And growing up, I think a lot of different circumstances and birthday events have reinforced those feelings. And so now they're kind of just stick with me. So I'm going to start with my 12th birthday. I believe this was birthday number 12. I remember birthday number 12 like it was nothing. I forget what grade I was in. I was going to the Murphy school. My best friend at the time was actually the bully. Um, God. Okay. So, and in my previous episode, in my previous video, I talked about turning 13 or 14. For this birthday extravaganza, I was turning 12. Now, I don't know how they do it where y'all from, but how they do it where I'm from, baby, I don't know what the fuck is going on. But every good goddamn year, progress reports went out right before my birthday. Progress reports or report cards or parent teacher conferences went out right before my birthday. Look at me. I'm Caribbean. Help. And I suck at math. Help. Okay? I did not do well in school. And not because I'm slow, because baby, sometimes I could be real molasses, but because I ain't give a fuck. Nah, it wasn't because I didn't give a fuck. It was because my home life was actually really hard, and so I was acting out at school as a form of like, help me, but nobody saw it that way, so I just got my ass beat. Anyway, so I'm turning 12, and I want to go snow tubing. Snow tubing gets canceled. So the theme in my life for my birthdays as a kid was if I got in trouble before my birthday, if progress reports came out before my birthday and they weren't up to standard, my birthday party or gathering or fun event was canceled. You need to change it. Figure out something else. So that happened this year, as it did for many years before that and many years after that. I'm turning 12. I can't go snow tubing. I don't know if I got in trouble or if it were my grades, and it probably was my grades. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, if I was 12, I was probably in 6th grade, and it was probably Mr. Menard. It was Mr. Menard. I was doing terrible in his math class. Anyway, I decided that I want to do like a sleepover. Like, I want a sleepover. I want a fun little girls' night. And that's what I was granted. So I got to pick 2 friends that got to come over to my house and we can do a sleepover. Now, if you remember from episode 1 when I talked about birthdays and diaries, that plays a huge part in this story as well. We're going to go back and I'm going to give you some context. At the time, my father was still dating, or I'm sorry, married to, no, they were dating, they weren't married. Either way, she was, for lack of a better term, a fucking bitch. I did not like this woman with all of everything in my chest. I still don't like this woman with all of everything in my chest. So I got in my diary, and I remember this so vividly. I had called her a four-eyed hippo. I think I called her ugly too. I said I didn't like her. She was so mean to me. I basically painted my life as like Cinderella in my diary, and she was my evil stepmom. She was turning my dad against me. When the truth was, she was my evil stepmom, and my dad didn't have a backbone to stand up for me. Home life, not the best, not fun. So I wrote this in my diary. Now let's fast forward to my actual freaking birthday, okay? These were honestly the best times where you got on the yellow bus with your friends, and then after that, like, they come to your house. Like, everybody gets off the bus at the same stop and they go to your house, and everyone on the bus is like, oh my god, where are you guys going? And it's like, you didn't hear? Like, sleepover at my house, 2 people invited only. Yeah. So my 2 friends get off the bus and they walk me to my house. Their first time they're at my house, like, all the things that you're talking about, like, yeah, it's my house, like, oh my god, like, yeah, like, it's my little brother, like, all the things. So at this point, I had a Wii, WII, baby. The Wii was all the rave. It was fantastic. It was electric. It was a time to be alive. Do you understand me? We're playing Wii Sports. We're playing Just Dance. What, you couldn't tell me I didn't have it all. So we're having a great time. We're having fun. We're laughing. We're dancing. Whatever. I had done something to irritate my dad's girlfriend at the time. Um, and here's what I remember it to be. She had asked me if I wanted my little brother to be there. That is her biological son, not my dad's biological kid. But we were raised together for so long that that was my brother. So she had asked, "Do you want your brother to be here for your sleepover?" And I thought, like, you know what? Yeah, like, I'm a sibling's sibling. Just like I'm a girl's girl, I'm a sibling's sibling. I love my siblings. Of course, I want to have him around. Like, what? He's tiny. He's cute. Extra points in my book. So he's there, and he is nothing short of a little brother. So he's actually really fucking annoying right now. And I just turned 12. So I'm not giving him all the attention, but I'm not being mean to him. I'm just not looping him into everything that we're doing. And I remember she had said, "Why would you ask him to be here if you weren't even going to play with him?" Like, she was just really upset. And then I felt bad because I'm like, well, fuck. Maybe I should have asked him to go somewhere else or like be babysat by somebody else so I can just have girls' time. So that made me feel a little bit down. And I think that set the mood for like what happened next. So again, I'm in the living room with my friends. We're having a good time. I'm doing more to include my little brother in 12-year-old conversations. I kid you not. I was 8 years older than him. Do the math, because I don't fucking know. Anyway, that's happening. Then my dad calls me into the room. He says, he calls me and he says, "I need to talk to you." He's in there and his girlfriend's in there. Good God. I remember this day like it was freaking yesterday. And it's really funny because I think, I don't know how to explain why I remember what I remember, but dealing with depression for such a long time and heavy emotions has actually caused me to start losing my memory. So I have really big memory gaps about certain things, about certain deaths, about certain school days, about certain traumatic moments. My mind goes blank and I can't remember things. It gets really jumbled in my head. But the things that I do remember, it's like they stick with me like a feeling. Like, I can never forget the feeling, so I can never forget what was said, and I can never forget the moment. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, he calls me into the room and he says, um, "I read your diary," and that's when he basically tells me what he read, and all the things were about my dad's girlfriend. They weren't about him, but he read it and then he showed her, and they had read it before my birthday, but decided to tell me on my birthday when my friends were in the living room, and basically just made me feel like shit, and I just cried. Um, and I remember them just belittling me the whole time, and then at the end, my dad was like, "Okay, we'll get back out there. You have guests." And so I went back out there, and I had to pretend that I wasn't crying or pretend that I didn't feel all the things that I was feeling and entertain my friends. But of course, they caught on like, okay, something's wrong. And in true fashion, I told them the tea at school. that was that was a rough birthday. I didn't really like that. And then it was either the next year or the next year or two, turning 13 or 14, where I was writing about how just sad I was about kind of being alive and having birthdays, and then I was called ungrateful and all that stuff. And then honestly, just by the time I could say, like, no, I don't want to do anything, I stopped doing things for my birthday. So fast forward to my 18th birthday. I'm in high school. Um, I believe I was turning 18. I was either turning 17 or 18. Again, I tend to disassociate very heavily in these moments, especially on my birthday. So I don't remember like how old I was turning. I don't remember if my birthday was on a Thursday or on a Wednesday. Like, I don't remember what period I was in at the time. I just remember I was in school and I started to have a panic attack. And my panic attacks and anxiety attacks sometimes are directly falling into an asthma attack. So if I can't get a hold of my breathing or if I freak out too much, I start to have an asthma attack. And not the, like, for me, it feels like there are two different asthma attacks. There's an asthma attack where like I'm minding my business, I'm living my life, and all of a sudden it's like I'm breathing through a straw, and then I realize, oh fucking shit, my airways are closing up. I cannot breathe. And then there's the other one, which is more common for me when I'm having an asthma attack, or I mean, when I'm having an anxiety attack or panic attack, or even sometimes when I get migraines, I get chronic migraines. It'll start to happen where, like, I start to tell myself, like, you're fine, like, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine, it's okay, keep breathing, you're fine, you're fine. And while I'm saying you're fine, keep breathing, I can feel myself not being able to breathe. And then I start panicking, which makes me not be able to breathe even faster. It's just a shitty situation. So that's happening. I'm in school and I'm just hyperventilating. And I'm like, well, if I'm hyperventilating, that's good. Cause like I'm taking in shots of air right now. What? I'm throwing them back. Then I start whistling shots of air. I'm not throwing shit back, but my brain cells. Like, I'm starting to go. I remember starting to feel a little like woozy and panicky. And in that period, I started to feel woozy. And then the next period was advisory. And in advisory, you don't do anything. But that's where my brain completely fucking lost it. I just went blank. I remember having to be escorted to the nurse's office, and they were able to calm me down and help me out, get me water, all the good stuff. And that year, because that year my dad had moved out of town to a different state for a job opportunity, and I did not want to miss my senior year of high school, and I didn't want to move with them. Like, what the heck? I go to an art school. I love my friends. I love my school. I love doing theater. I'm not going to just move my senior year. So I stayed. So I end up telling my nurse, like, I don't live with my dad, because she's like, emergency contact. Oh my God, freaking out. And I'm like, I don't live, like, at this point, I had been calmed down, and she's trying to get the report together. And I said, well, I don't live with my dad. You'll have to send it to, like, my godmother or my grandmother. And so she's like, what do you mean you don't live with your dad? She's confused. I explained the situation to her. He moved out of town for a job opportunity. So now I reside with my grandmother and my godmother. My advisor already knew this information because my advisor is my advisor. My advisor had also talked to my dad when this process was starting to happen, just so everybody was in the loop. So, anyway, I get home from having this terrible, terrible day. I'm not sure if the nurse called my dad or if my advisor called my dad. I don't know. But they end up telling him that I said I don't live with him. And I did not know that was a secret. Like, what? Where is the concern for real? My dad goes off on me. When I say off, baby, I don't mean OFF bug spray. I mean AWF off. Okay? He's screaming at the top of his lungs. He's so upset with me. How could you do this? Why did you tell them that you don't live with me? I can get in trouble for this. And I just didn't know that this was a secret. Mind you, I'm still fucking dazed. I'm still out of it from the day, right? I'd also taken some drugs to help my headache, per the nurse. I'm still dazed. I'm still out of it. Like, I don't feel good. It's also my birthday. Whatever. My dad ends the conversation by saying, I would say happy birthday to you, but and I don't remember his final words. I remember them in the moment, but I don't remember them now. I do remember him saying, I would say happy birthday to you, but, and that's when I started to just disassociate. I was like, well, just another birthday. Next birthday. So, in high school is when I got my first boyfriend. Rewind to the part where I said, I'm Caribbean and I'm not good at math. Help me. Yeah? That's illegal. You're Caribbean, you get your second ears piercing? Illegal. Face piercing? Illegal. Tattoo? Illegal. Don't go to college? Illegal. Go to summer school? Illegal. I'm lucky they didn't ship me to Haiti first class. Okay? So I get a boyfriend. Illegal. And I experiment with drugs. Double illegal. It was weed. Okay? My godmother goes through my text messages. Somehow that wasn't illegal. Whatever. Also paid for the phone myself. Whatever. I get in trouble. It's a whole big thing. It's a whole big blowout. At this point, from 18 and up, after they had read my messages, and I had said, like, the family is so dramatic, and they, oh my God, they hated me for that. They hated me for that. But where do y'all think I get it from? Like, where, if 2 + 2 and then 5, like, because if you're gonna be anything, be for real? Question mark. Anyway, so when they found all that out, like that I was a teenage girl, um, shit imploded, and my relationship with my godmother and my grandmother and my aunt got really bad, and they started leaving me out of things. Like, we'd go to my aunt's house for 4th of July or for just like little events because she was that girl. She threw those parties. Really, it's just she had a house. Um, and so there started to be times where my godmother and my grandmother would go and just leave me in the house, and I just wasn't invited, or they just wouldn't tell me what was happening. Um, we became very distant and cold with each other. There were a lot of arguments, and I don't want to say that I wasn't a teenager because I was, but I also want to emphasize that things were said to me that shouldn't have never been said to me to begin with, no matter how old I was, and no matter what I did. And I think a lot of the things that I did were blown out of proportion because, rewind, Caribbean, Haitian, you know what I mean? And so if you talk back, it's literally seen as violence. You know what I mean? Like, I remember one time I gave my grandmother attitude and she said on the phone, so you want to hit me? You're going to hit me? I didn't know. Wait. I didn't say that. Just to paint the picture for you, right? So being a normal kid who did normal things, I wasn't met with the normal way to deal with it. Everything was really extreme. And I know that saying that now and looking back at the situation, I might get a lot of pushback and flack in it from the adults in my life who did what they did. It is what it is. And I think a scary thing about telling some of my birthday stories is that the people who hurt you can still hurt you because they're still family, right? And when I tell these stories, it's a little scary because then you get called a liar, or that never happened, or I never said that to you. And it's like, these are not things that I made up and just felt for years. They happened, and you're just not being accountable for it. But I was expected to be accountable for everything I did as a teenager. Whatever. So that's kind of the turmoil I'm in. My 18th birthday might have been my 17th birthday, and my birthday now that I'm going to talk about might be my 18th birthday. And that's another thing. You know, I feel like the things that I say sometimes when I vocalize how I feel, they're not held to truth because I fucking disassociated and I have time gaps in my head. Like, it doesn't mean that I'm lying about what was said. I just don't fucking know if I was 17 or 18, bro, but it happened. It's whatever birthday. I remember coming out of my room, and mind you, the turmoil of going through my phone, college, all that BS was still in the air, right? I had stayed in my room all day because that's what I did. I just stayed in my room. I wasn't allowed to go out. I wasn't really allowed to do anything. So I just stayed in my room, and it was my birthday, and I didn't want to talk about it, and I didn't want to say anything. And nobody said anything to me. I mean, of course, I got all the Snapchat memories from my friends, and I got all the texts about that. I did not have Instagram at the time. So I just got a bunch of like Snapchats and a bunch of texts. So I end up leaving my room. It could be like 2 or 3 p.m. because I used to sleep all day. All I did was eat, cry, and sleep. I kid you not. On the off chance, maybe I was playing that music. I just didn't do much. So anyway, I come out of my room and my godmother's like, oh, hey, whatever, whatever, whatever. A couple hours go by and then she goes, oh, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. And I was like, yeah. So that hurt my feelings that they had forgotten about my birthday. Like, I know I wanted to forget, but I know why I wanted to forget. Why are you guys forgetting? So then my grandma was like, oh my God, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. And I guess they told my aunt, and my aunt came over with a cake. And yeah, we were going to sing happy birthday. Now, it's the little things that hurt my feelings as a kid and now. I'm hurt that you guys forgot my birthday. Then my aunt comes with this cake. Let me continue. So she comes with this cake, we sing happy birthday, and it's an ice cream cake. So she cuts it up and she's like, people are getting their pieces, and she's like, Shay, you're not gonna have any cake? If you know me, you know that I don't like ice cream. And I especially don't like ice cream cake. I I haven't eaten ice cream in over a decade. I just don't eat ice cream. I don't like it. Popsicles, yeah. Ice cream? Like, I feel like I eat ice cream when I'm trying to fit in for real, but I don't like ice cream. And my favorite cake is red velvet. She says, you're not gonna have any cake? And again, I'm in this moment where it's like, fuck, I don't want to seem like I'm ungrateful, but this cake was bought last minute because everybody forgot my birthday. And it's not even a cake I like. And it's not even like, oh, it's not a flavor I like. I don't eat ice cream, bro. So I said, oh, I don't like ice cream. And then she goes, oh, yeah. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, Shay doesn't. No, she doesn't. Yeah, oh, yeah. Bruh. So I don't even get to eat my birthday cake because it was ice cream and I don't like ice. Anyway. Historically, my birthdays have sucked. It is January 31st. My birthday is February 3rd. I started to care about my birthday. I guess I'm going to talk about it. I guess I'm going to do it. I lost a sibling, and I feel like that's all. That has been very hard to deal with, and they were very young. And ever since then, I have tried to dedicate each birthday that he couldn't turn that year to him. So I tried to be more grateful for my birthdays, because if he was here, Lord knows he'd be partying like crazy. And I put a lot of pressure on myself when I turned 24 to honor him by just celebrating myself, because at the end of the day, no matter how I feel, I'm very blessed that I got to see another year, and he did not. He doesn't get to be 25, 26, 27. He doesn't get to see those years, and I do. And so I should be really freaking grateful. Even if I'm sad, obviously, I can't control that, but it doesn't hurt to try a little bit harder. It doesn't hurt to laugh a little bit harder. It doesn't hurt to love a little bit more, especially when you have the opportunity to do it, and you know that somebody who's not here would have done the fuck out of it, would have turned up so hard. I don't feel like I've done a good job at maintaining that promise to myself. So I'm taking it really slow. I'm not doing the whole like, let's party thing that I tried to do. I'm just doing the let's be okay today. Like, let's be happy today. Let's try to push away all the fog and the darkness that you feel around this year. And let's just try to celebrate. My last couple of birthdays, I'm not gonna lie, some people really fucked them up, bro. Like, some people really fucked them up. And I'm not even going to talk about it because I feel like it's messy, and I'm not trying to be messy. And I feel like when you decide to tell your side of the story, you're also telling somebody else's story. And I don't want anybody to be like, that's actually, well, you left out the part where, bro, shut the fuck up. Like respectfully, don't. So anyway, this year though, I have an amazing partner who's doing, I don't know what he's planning, but I know it's going to be good and I'm excited for it. Last year, although a couple of people really made me feel some type of way on my birthday, my friend Michelle, oh my gosh, she did amazing. She did absolutely amazing. She's a real one. She's that girl for real. If you've ever seen that girl and you haven't seen her, you've never seen that girl. Michelle is that girl. Michelle's my girl. Stop playing. So this year, I'm gonna do really good at just fucking being happy. I'm gonna do really good, and I'm not gonna force it. Like I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna be happy. I'm gonna turn 26, and I'm gonna be fucking happy about it, and I'm gonna turn up as I should. And honestly, that's all I got. I'm about to start making some great birthday memories, and that's that on that. Anyway, I have to take a dog to get groomed. Thank you for coming to this podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you in my next episode. My next episode will actually be filmed after my birthday so we can all chat and gab about how amazing it was. I'm manifesting it. I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.